In recent years, the case of one of the most wicked and insensitive couples, Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, has captivated the nation with its shocking twists and turns. What began as a seemingly routine missing persons case evolved into a complex web of deception, murder, and cult-like beliefs. In September of 2019, 16-year-old Tylee Ryan and her brother, 8-year-old J.J. Vallow, vanished without a trace, sparking a multi-state search, while their mother Lori Vallow appeared carefree, marrying her new husband Chad Daybell on a beach in Hawaii. Their disappearances mark only a glimpse of a dramatic case that opens up a deeply disturbing pattern of murders, unexplained deaths, and bizarre cult beliefs about killing zombies. Let's look at how we got to this degree of craziness and deception. First, let me introduce you to Lori Vallow. Lori Vallow was born on June 26, 1973, in San Bernardino. She met Charles Vallow, her fifth husband, in the early 2000s, and they got married in 2006. Charles was originally from Texas, and the couple met and married in Texas before relocating to Arizona. Together, the couple was raising Tylee Ryan, Lori's daughter, from her first marriage. In 2014, they adopted JJ, who is the grandson of Charles's sister. JJ has autism and has special needs. A friend said Lori didn't find it a problem and was eager to be an ideal mother for him. Tylee and Ryan got along with JJ very easily, and it was said that Tylee embraced her role as a big sister and that Tylee even jokingly referred to JJ as her own child. At different times, Lori reportedly shifted from one profession to another. She used to work as a hairdresser and also as a yoga instructor when living in Hawaii. Later in life, she became involved in various business ventures, including marketing and sales. Charles was a businessman and owned a juice bar in Hawaii. It seemed they were both doing well and content with each other. It was around the year 2017 that Lori began reading some apocalyptic books written by one particular author, and her overall demeanor in the family changed. The first time she ever met Chad Daybell, the author of these books, was in 2018 when she went to a religious conference in Utah called Prepare a People. Lori was instantly captivated by Chad. Lori was told by Chad that they had been married in 7 previous lifetimes. Chad would call Lori an eternal being who had 21 separate lives. This belief intrigued Lori and formed a bond to Chad's teachings. Needless to say, Lori began to develop a relationship romantically with Chad, while her love for her current husband began to dwindle away. Charles, her current husband, was becoming increasingly worried for the mental health of his wife. At one point, he had called 911 on her and had stated that Lori no longer cared about him or JJ, and she had lost grip of reality, and stating he fears for the safety of himself and the children. She has begun to express that she is immortal. She claims that Charles and the children were zombies, and they needed to be finished off. He also said that Lori Vallow believed she was a goddess, preparing for a second coming, and that the second coming will come on the 22nd July of 2020. He even pleaded the police officers to check on his home, but the police, who at the time didn't know the gravity of the situation, didn't think it necessary to go in. This would prove costly, as only a few months later, Charles would have to pay it with his own life.
Long story. She's had kind of a break from reality. She thinks you're LDS?
Yes.
She thinks she's married to Moroni in the past. This is her
You think she's what?
married to Moroni, the top of the temple.
Angel
Moroni.
LDS. Angel. They don't let
She's
me
got
in
an
there.
8 probation, and she knows when the second coming is happening next year. So does the prophet.
Okay.
He knows it. She knows about it. She meets with Moroni, Jesus Christ, face to face in the temple every day. I've tried to support her as much as I could, but it's gotten really, really bad lately. She's had a break. She says, I'm Nick Schneider. I've taken over Charles's body, and Charles has been killed. I'm going to kill you. You're going to be murdered today or tomorrow. I can do it.
Later that same month, Charles filed for divorce from Lori, citing she no longer loved him. On July 11 of that same year, Charles, who was by now divorced from Lori, went to the house where Lori lived, along with their children and her brother Alex Cox. Charles was supposed to take JJ to school that day, but after he went inside, he was shot dead by Alex Cox. Cox claims that he shot Charles in self-defense when Vallow tried to attack him with a baseball bat. Even Lori and her daughter supported Cox's claims. Cox was never arrested. The circumstances surrounding Charles' death raised suspicions to everyone, setting the stage for more tragedy that would unfold. In early September, 2 months after Charles's demise, Lori relocated to Rexburg in Idaho with her 2 children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, and her brother Alex Cox. Lori moved to Rexburg to be closer to Chad Daybell. This move would mark the beginning of a harrowing journey. On September the 8th, a week after they relocated to Rexburg, the family, along with Alex Cox, went to Yellowstone National Park. This picture was taken in the park and shows the kids along with Alex. This is very concerning, especially what is to become of the kids not long after. We know JJ and his sister left the park safe that day because a week later, JJ was seen playing outside his home as captured in a neighbor's CCTV. But it was on the 24th of September that Lori enrolled JJ from his school, citing reasons that she would homeschool him from then on. That was the last time anybody saw him. It is to be noted here that his sister Tylee was also never seen ever again. At the time, Lori moved to Rexburg in early September to be with Chad Daybell. He was still married to his wife of 29 years, Tammy Daybell. She is now the only hurdle left that prevented Chad from marrying his mistress Lori. Oddly enough, on October the 19th, Tammy Daybell died of unknown causes inside their home. Family said she died of cardiac arrest in her sleep and didn't want an autopsy performed. What's disgraceful about this is that just 2 weeks after Tammy's death, on November the 5th, Chad and Lori went to Hawaii to exchange vows, raising eyebrows and fueling speculation about their involvement in Tammy's death. JJ's grandparents, who started becoming wary of the children's whereabouts, called authorities. On November 26, the police conducted a welfare check on JJ and Tylee at their Rexburg home, but they weren't there. Lori replied by saying they were staying with her friend Melanie Gibb back in Arizona, but when Arizona police confronted Melanie, she denied the kids were with her. Now, the police knew Lori was lying. A week later, on the 1st of November, the Rexburg Police Department declared JJ and Tylee missing persons and called Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell as persons of interest. The news of the missing kids now gained nationwide interest, prompting a nationwide search effort. Alex Cox died on 12 December of unknown natural causes, which is also suspicious to the authorities as he would have provided a vital source of information or even involved in the whereabouts of the missing children. While family and friends were anxious for answers, Lori and Chad were back in Hawaii enjoying an extended honeymoon. However, their honeymoon was not without hassle, because they had to dodge countless reporters who badgered them with inquiries about the missing children. On the 25th of January 2020, Lori was asked by Idaho police to produce the children within 5 days, which she ignored, and therefore she was placed under arrest. She was charged with 3 misdemeanors and 2 felony counts of desertion and non-support of dependent children. Chad was not charged with anything at this point because they have nothing substantial against him. 2 months after Tammy Daybell was buried, Idaho authorities, who had reason to suspect her death, dug up her remains to conduct toxicological tests. This was carried out to check for any poison or medications that she might have taken before passing away. Authorities wouldn't find anything that would put an end to the mystery surrounding the missing youngsters until the summer of 2020. The police, led by the FBI, after getting a warrant to search Chad Daybell's home, left no stone unturned to search the property for something that may exemplify foul play. This search would prove to be fruitful, though in a negative way, as the remains of the 2 missing children would be found. JJ was buried in a shallow grave near a tree, while Tylee was buried in Daybell's pet cemetery. The heartbreaking revelation sends shockwaves through the community and brings the case to a tragic turning point. Lori and Chad faced a barrage of charges related to the deaths of JJ and Tylee, as well as other crimes. Chad and Lori were charged with first degree for the deaths of JJ and Tylee Ryan. In addition to this, Lori was also charged with conspiring to murder Charles Vallow. Chad was also charged with his first wife, Tammy Daybell's death. The autopsy report revealed Tammy had bruises on her right and left arms and on her chest that could only have happened in the hours around her death. Her cause of death was determined to be asphyxiation and not a heart attack, as previously believed. The conclusion of the trial leaves a nation grappling with questions of justice and accountability. The tragic loss of JJ and Tylee serves as a sobering reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. The case of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell stands as a chilling reminder of the capacity for evil that exists within the human heart. Yet, amid the darkness, there are glimpses of hope for justice, hope for healing, and hope for a future where such senseless tragedies are never repeated. As the story continues to unfold, may we remember the lives lost and strive to build a world where every child is cherished and every family is safe. Thank you, guys. You can support me by subscribing to this channel. I will be covering many more chilling cases happening all